Welcome into the field house, everybody. My name is Max Pauls, and I'm joined alongside Jett Nelson. Jay Jacinto absent today. He's out of town, I think, for the next week, right? Are we
I
gone for
believe
another week?
is it another week? I know he's out in Colorado enjoying the mountains and some baseball, softball action, and yeah, I can't remember if he said next week. I know it was this week for
I
certain.
don't know.
So,
Well, we'll find out if he's not here uh, when we record next. But
yep.
got a lot to get into today. We're going to talk some Rangers and sprinkle in some Cowboy talk. I haven't talked about them in a while. It's kind of a dead season, but the Cowboys are always relevant to everything in DFW sports.
Yep, yep.
The Rangers, though, one of the hottest teams in baseball right now, if not the hottest team.
I believe
Um,
I saw 20 and 12 since May 29th, the best in the
mhm.
American League.
Yeah, they've been playing great baseball. Literally outside of that Miami series, the last couple series have been amazing. Um, you've won you won the series against the Padres, and then this comes after you lose 5 out of 6 to the Red Sox and Twins, and everyone's thinking like we finally got back to 500. Then you lose 5 out of 6, and
Yep.
everyone's like panicking. It's like, man, this team they just can't win. Then you win 2 out of 3 against the Padres. You lose 2 out of 3 to the Marlins, but then you sweep a 4-game series against the Blue Jays, and then you've won 2 out of 3 against the Guardians, and then you take this first game against the Tigers in dominating fashion. Now, it was really interesting. Evo had a no hitter going into the 5th inning, and then gave up 3 runs.
Yeah, I was just sitting
Crazy
there
how
like,
baseball works.
yeah, I was just sitting there like, oh my goodness, like the thought crept into my head and then it just got obliterated by a solo home run,
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
yeah, and the Rangers still went on to win 10-4. Josh Smith came in, looked good. That was good to see. Evan Carter hit a home run. Elias Diaz, my goodness, he has been maybe the pickup of the year. Um, he has given the Rangers an actual catching threat.
Yeah.
He has an incredible arm behind the plate. He's hitting, his OPS is 819. The Rangers haven't had a catcher like this since 2023, Jonah Heim. We've gone
Ab-
2.5 years, 2 years without this.
Absolutely. And not trying to disrespect Kyle Higashioka, I think he's fit that role well. The disrespect goes to Danny Jansen, who has disappeared. I know he's on the IL
Yeah,
somewhere, but I mean, he had expectations coming into this year to kind of fill that backup catcher role. And then, yeah, Elias Diaz just pops onto the scene, takes care of business, and now not only does he like really hold down behind the plate, he's taking care of the bats as well, just being a consistent part of the lineup.
yeah. And another guy, Nicky Lopez. He is having a career season with the Rangers. I think in 2021, he hit 300 for the season with the Royals. But since then, he's hit like 220, 240. The guy just had a 3-hit game yesterday. He has hits in, I think he has a 9-game hitting streak. The guy's hitting 337.
Yep.
He is getting on base. He's an on base machine. It's really
And
great to see.
his
Mhm.
glove is also a big part of his game as well. I remember when we first picked him up, everyone was saying like, watch his glove, Gold Glove candidate. And I think there was an error or two at first, probably just part of the transition phase, but he's really settled in. I think he likes it here. He likes the fan base, and so yeah, that's all you could ask for. Just a guy who really fits the role well.
Yeah, and this team is playing extremely well right now. Um, and it really brings up the question of what you do when Corey Seager comes back. That's been a very, very, very hot topic lately, is Corey Seager. A lot of people, there's a pretty even split. There's the people that are like, World Series hero, you've done so much for the franchise, like, yeah. And then there's the other people that are like, all right, well, yeah, World Series hero, but we need to get him out of here. We need to trade him. Try to get anything for him. He's not at the same level of his game. And I appreciate this. Maddie Seeger, his wife, has been in so many Instagram comment sections, just like fighting for her husband. I've seen a bunch of things like on the
So
fan.
I
She
haven't
put like they're
seen
talking about.
those.
So yeah, on the fan. So the morning show is talking about like Bobby was talking about trading Corey Seager, and she literally just commented like the yawning emoji in the comments on that Instagram. like Rangers Nation. There's been a couple Rangers accounts I've seen her comments on, like these comments are ridiculous or blah 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 or like something stupid. Um, but so I appreciate that that she's doing that. But I want to know your thoughts, kind of where you land on the Corey Seager um, area.
Yeah, with the way you laid it out, I'm definitely on the latter part of it. Like Corey Seager, World Series hero, but we just have to acknowledge what his production is looking like for the team,
Mm-hmm.
and it's bottom of the barrel compared to what we're finally seeing. We got Jock Heaterson out there. I'm not changing it back to a P. It's a Jock Heaterson. We mentioned Nicky Lopez, Elias Diaz, even Josh Smith, just pinch hit home run. So everyone's
Mm-hmm.
kind of
First of the season.
filling a role. Yeah, and then you have Corey Seager just barely in the lineup. When he is in the lineup, I feel like we do kind of see his impact, but just not where the absolute stud of your lineup should be.
Yeah, and for the amount of money he's making, like it's really hard to keep him around. I mean, he's one of the like when he is in the lineup, he's one of the lowest, maybe the lowest qualified hitter. I mean, he's hitting 182 with a 666 OPS. Oh, that's
Oh
not
my
good.
gosh.
That's a sign for anything. Um, yeah, like, he's not healthy a lot, and when he has been healthy this season, he hasn't produced. Like does have 10 home runs, but it's pretty much home run or strikeout. He's striking out at a much higher rate. He's not hitting the ball as hard. He's not getting on base. I mean, he's working walks, but like just you have more success. You're having more success with Zeke and Nicky Lopez in the lineup, and Justin Foscue compared to having Corey Seager in. And I know it's one of those things. Like I I hope he comes back and gets hot before the trade deadline, and maybe you can reevaluate and see like, okay, maybe he's finally out of it. But if he comes back from
Yep.
whatever injury he has now and just continues, I think it's a back thing now, and just continues to perform the same way that he's been performing, I you really do have to have the conversation of moving on from him. If not at the deadline this year, after this season.
See, that's where it gets a little tricky, is because I believe I'm trying to remember this perfectly, but if Corey Seager is not traded before this trade deadline, he has the option to like veto, or it's like a no trade clause
Mm-hmm.
as part of his contract. We can look it up here in a second, but I'm pretty sure if we don't trade him before the deadline, which is coming up, I think it's in July, Corey Seager
Mm-hmm.
could just say, I want to stay in Texas. I want to receive my paycheck. And there's not anything CY could do about it. So I think it is pivotal that we either find a way to trade Corey Seager or send him down to the 60-day IL to just fully heal, like stop this,
Mm-hmm.
like force Corey Seager back as soon as possible. Because I feel like, especially if it's a back issue, and that's kind of an everyday, you can't function without your back being 100%. So
Yeah.
it's got to be one of those two options for me.
That's a really good point that you bring up. It feels like they've rushed him back from these injuries way too quickly. It seems like every single time he has an injury, it's like, okay, he's out for a little bit. All right, now maybe a rehab start, and then you're right back in the lineup.
Yep.
With the guy that's injury prone, I feel like they should take a lot more time with him, making sure that it's like healed for at least a couple days. Not, all right, I woke up feeling good, now put me back out there. Um, like it, he's an injury prone guy. This has been known before he came to Texas. Like he'd suffered through injuries through his time in LA. When he was there, he was elite. He suffered through injuries here his entire career with the Rangers. Some guys you just got to be cautious with. And if this turns into a play him, play him one day, rest him the next, play him one day, rest him the next, that might just be what you have to do. And you've seen guys in this lineup going to be able to step up when he doesn't play. and you won't lose any production. So I think that's something the Rangers really need to look at, is playing him less and keeping him out longer when he gets hurt, rather than trying to rush him back in, because you don't need to rush him back in. You're the best team in baseball when he hasn't been in the lineup.
Yeah,
Um,
that's probably the most interesting thing about this team is that whenever Brandon Nimmo comes out for a little bit, whenever Wyatt Langford comes out for a little bit, like these injuries, at least at this current moment, don't seem to really just take the team down to a lower level. We just seem
mhm.
to handle the adversity and move on like it's any other day, which it's the expectation for every baseball team. 162 games, but the Rangers just really seem to be handling that well and just looking at it on a day by day basis.
Yeah, and I think it's very important here for the Rangers to stay hot um, in July. You're finishing the series against the Tigers. Then you have 3 against the Angels at home. I'm going to 2 of those games, the
Hmm,
Wednesday and Thursday.
there you go.
Um, and then you have 3 at home against the Astros after that. And then those 3 series more on the easier side. Maybe the Astros series is going to be a little harder. They're always tough when you play them, but you are at home. Um, but then after that, you go on the road against the Braves, host the White Sox, and then host the Mariners in a 4-game series at home, and then you're on the road at Tampa Bay. Those are 4 series that, man, that wrapping up July, it's going to be hard. So they need to win, I would say, probably about, well, they have left 8 games between the Tigers, Angels, and Astros. Probably 6 of those. You need to win 6 of those 8. Um, and that would put you at what? 51 and 45. You're 6 games over 500. Gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And especially if you win at least 2 or 3 over the Astros, you get added cushion over them. Um, and then you're ready for this long stretch. But at the same time, the Rangers have played teams above 500 really well this year. They've
Yeah.
played them better than teams under 500. So, really, is it like, oh, they're going to lose these games against the Angels and Astros and then go sweep the Braves or something? Um, wouldn't that be something?
That was actually going to be my next point. I was like, you mentioned the Astros series, even the Rays down the way. I'm not worried about those series. I am worried about the Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah.
Like, I know we had to go to Anaheim to play them. Maybe that was why, but we got swept.
Yeah.
Getting swept by the Angels is something that hopefully we can return the favor and sweep the Angels back, because that is just a stain on the shirt of the Texas Rangers. That, like, I'm sure they remember that. Like,
Oh,
they
for
were
sure.
sitting as the worst team in the American League, and we went out there and got swept. And the Rangers weren't that bad. I really think that was just a judgment lapse,
Mm-hmm.
or just the weird luck of baseball that turned against the Rangers there. So I think if they win 2 out of 3 there, you're finally seeing, like, what was that movie? Like, the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Rangers past would be gone. Something along those lines. Like, we finally move past the old Rangers.
Yeah.
This is finally becoming a winning ball club. If you get rid of that monkey on their
Mm-hmm.
shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the Rangers, it's looking up right now. Things are looking up. I feel like they haven't looked this up the entire season.
Yeah.
Since opening day, maybe.
Yeah.
Things are going the best they have all season. You're getting great appearances from starters, minus Mackenzie Gore's start. He still
Mhm.
ended up going 5 innings, and giving you a chance to stay in it there. But Rocker had a great start in Toronto. DeGrom dominated. Evaldi had a good start besides that 5th inning. Cal Quantrill gave you 4 innings against Toronto.
Yep.
You're just getting some great performances. And then Jacob Latz, man, this guy has been amazing.
Absolute all star.
So many 2-inning saves. Like, it's insane. I said this months or weeks ago. I think he's the best pitcher on the roster because of how much he gives you. Like, he can
Yeah.
come in for a spot start. He can come in middle relief, and he can lock down a 2-inning save. Like, He has to be an all-star. And that takes me back. You know,
Go ahead. Go
we
for it.
talked about it. We talked about it when fan voting started, how stupid fan voting is. Because I said this was going to happen. What has happened is what I said was going to happen. You have an entire country voting for one team, the Blue Jays. You have all of Canada voting for the Blue Jays. And shocker, the Blue Jays, who are at this current moment 41-46, 5 games under 500, have an all-star at every single position. Whether they're a starter or backup, they have an all-star at every position. That's stupid. Alejandro Kirk has played 19 games and is an all-star.
Yep.
He has played 19 games and made the all-star team. That's stupid. It's really dumb. Fan voting, like I said, needs to be abolished.
And it's not even a Canada problem, too. It's like, then you have the Americans voting for either just the Dodgers, just the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's whatever team's hot at the moment. It's whatever team they
team's
feel
the most
like.
popular.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see the Rays getting a ton of, like, Junior Caminero, obviously. But, I mean, they're 51-33. They have the best record in the American League.
Yep.
But they have a small fan base. Same thing, the Rangers have a small fan base. For how much DFW loves sports, baseball is just not, it's lower on the list. People love the Cowboys. People don't care about the Rangers as much because baseball is not the biggest thing here. It's football. Texas is a football state. It's not a baseball state. It's a state that has baseball, but it's not our main attraction. I mean, we like baseball, but we'd much rather go see a Cowboys game than sit through 9 innings of a Ranger baseball game. That's just the reality of it. And so Rangers that deserve to be in the All-Star game don't make it. I mean, Ernie Clement blew the second baseman out of the water in the American League, and he absolutely does not deserve it.
He bats like under 250, I think.
No, he's hitting 299, but his OPS is 761. I mean, Zeke was right there with him, though, and it was like, when I first checked, it was like 700,000 votes for Ernie and then 200,000 for Zeke. I mean, like, the guy's stats are almost equal, and he has 500,000 more votes because he has an entire country, and then we have the Rangers' somewhat smaller fan base.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just bothers me so much, fan voting in any sport. Same thing with like the Pro Bowl in football. My goodness, and especially the way the Pro Bowl replacements work.
Oh yeah, they just kind of like
Sanders and Joe Flacco making the Pro Bowl last year.
They just kind of pick random people from random teams, just make sure everybody's included.
Yep.
It seems like there seems to be no metric when it comes to the Pro Bowl.
I understand wanting to involve the fans, but it gets to a point where guys that should make it just don't, and guys that shouldn't make it do. And we see it so many times that like so many guys that don't deserve it in any sport, like especially the NFL. I feel like,
oh yeah,
like the Pro Bowl is such a popularity contest. You see, I mean, Shedeur Sanders making it, being in there, crazy. But you just see like guys that shouldn't make it, they make it just because they're popular.
And I think we got to remember as fans is that this really becomes an accolade down the road. This isn't just like, oh, they're playing an extra game, haha, teedle-dee, teedle-dum. You know, this is, when we look down the line, we go, oh, this guy was great because he went to 6 All-Star games or 6 Pro Bowls. You know, this stuff kind of matters when we're evaluating players and Hall of Fame ballots and all that down the line. So I think, you know, not only are we robbing players from that opportunity to hit that next level, we're also kind of saying like how important is a Pro Bowl now, like, or not an All-Star game? Yeah.
Seriously, Pro Bowls don't matter at all.
No,
especially because like they don't even do anything. It's just the Pro Bowl games now. It's like, congratulations, you've been selected to play dodgeball and tic-tac-toe and whatever else they do at the Pro Bowl. I mean, it's not even football anymore. But yeah, we're getting to the point where you can't consider these accolades. They aren't. You're popular with the people. You had a 300 and you hit 320 with 40 home runs last year, and this year you're hitting 210 with 20 home runs.
Yep.
And but you're Aaron Judge, so you're in the All-Star game because I know your name and I'm a casual baseball fan, but I know who Aaron Judge is, so I'm gonna vote for him.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I've had this stance for a long time, and it's something that like I will die on this hill that fan voting needs to not be in sports. You can involve fans in other ways, um, but keep them out of the voting.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'll stand on the hill. It would suck to completely remove the fans from the process, but it's hurting the sports. I feel like it's not even just baseball. It's not just football. It's kind of going across the board. We're
Mm-hmm.
seeing the NFL or not the NBA attack its All Star crisis. They're
Yeah,
attacking a lot of stuff. So I think they're finally catching on. Like changes need to be made, and hopefully that spreads.
yeah, for sure. Man, all right. The Cowboys went 7-9-1 last year. Somehow finished second in the NFC East. That's how bad the division was. The Eagles won the division, went on to get blown out in the wild card. I would say somewhat big expectations coming up this season for the Cowboys. You're coming off a season where your offense was one of the best in the NFL, arguably the best, depending on what you're looking at. And then the defense, complete opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this draft, this free agency has been all defense because you don't need to change anything on offense, really. Maybe you need to change some stuff at offensive line. There were some problems a little bit, but overall, you don't need to change anything there. So they had a game plan and they went and attacked it. I think they've done a really good job. Um, we've seen a little bit of drama with George Pickens and like the voluntary OTAs, but now they're at OTAs and he was there, so he wasn't getting fined. But
Yeah, I think with George Pickens, you kind of had to remember that although it was the franchise tag, the franchise tag has this bad look towards it
mm-hmm,
to the point where it's like players are upset when they receive it. But for George Pickens as a wide receiver, that franchise tag, the average for his position was like 27 and change $1 million. I mean,
mm-hmm.
you're talking a pretty stout paycheck for George Pickens. And so yeah, I don't think he was upset. I know his agent is David Mulugeta, so he tries to pull the most
Dude,
off the tree,
man,
you
actually
know.
the worst guy ever. Worst guy ever, man. He's just so. I mean, he's great at his job, and that's what makes him the
Exactly.
worst ever. That's what
He's just
makes him
so
the worst.
frugal. And,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's hard to be upset with him because yeah, he's doing his job at an extremely well rate. So, but yeah, so it was good to see Pickens there. But I'll propose the question that Brian Broaddus put up on the fan not too long ago. He offered he would take this deal: George Pickens
Mm-hmm.
and a first right now to the Raiders for Max Crosby. I was skeptical myself. I mean,
That's just so tough because the offense was just so good, but pass rush was one of the weakest parts on your
yeah,
defense last year. I mean, and having pass rush helps with the other layers of the defense. It's absolutely the most crucial part of a defense because even if you have a bad secondary, if you get to the passer before you can find an open receiver, then it doesn't really matter if your cornerback got exposed on the outside. Um, but man, I mean, CD Lamb and George Pickens, that duo is just insane last year. Um, both went over 1,000 yards. George Pickens had 1,400. I don't know. It's just with how they've addressed the defense. I mean, you still don't have the like super great pass rusher, but you've added secondary help. You added Kobe Durant. You added Jalen Thompson. You drafted freaking Caleb Downs.
yep,
So the secondary is gonna be a lot stronger, and I think Deron Bland's gonna have a big bounce back year with Christian Parker. I don't want to call him CP, but
not feeling it.
um, you know, Christian Parker, everywhere he's gone, superstar cornerback. And so I think Deron Bland's in for a big bounce back season, um, as long as he stays healthy, which is a big if with the
Yeah.
Cowboys. Um, so I don't know, man. I don't know if I do that. I really don't. I
Yeah,
really don't
that's
know if I do that because the offense was so good. So it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, because
yep.
all of a sudden your two goes from or your 1A goes from their 1B goes from George Pickens to Ryan Flanoy, which Ryan Flanoy is great. He was great when CD wasn't playing, filled in great, and he's a great 3 right now. I don't know if he's ready to be the 2 and produce near the level that George Pickens did. And then after that, you have Cavante Turpin and Marquez Valdez Scantling. Great.
Yep.
Um, so I don't know. I don't know if I'd do that.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning against it as well, just because of the fact. Like, here's how I see it. I'm envisioning it's 4th and goal. Dallas needs 4 points. Let's say a field goal's not enough,
mm-hmm.
and you just need that one pass. And when you have George Pickens and CD Lamb, a team needs two really adequate cornerbacks. You can't have an average cornerback on either end and
Mm-hmm.
expect to shut down either CD Lamb or George Pickens. One of them's going to be able to break
Yeah.
through. And we remember, this goes back to our UTA days. We used to talk about the tunnel vision Dak used to have.
Yeah.
The only solution was having another huge threat out in the field to where Dak could look multiple directions.
Yeah.
And Pickens finally opens that up. I think we saw that with how efficient the offense was. And it's nothing against Max Crosby. You definitely touched on that. He is a great threat. Right now, Rashad Gary is what we're hoping to be a pass threat, a pass rush threat, this season. And so it's nothing to really lean on against. It's not a firm foundation for the defensive end position, but it's enough. And I think with the other defensive additions they've made, Jalen Thompson, Kobe Durant, and Caleb Downs, passes will not be flying across the field anymore for this Dallas. I mean, it's not going to look like a new car. It's not going to be perfect, I don't think, but
Yeah.
I think we're definitely shaving maybe 30 to 40% of the points per game allowed. So I think we'll see those changes pretty quickly, and that means the offense just needs to stay at that consistent level that it was last season.
Yeah, and like this defense doesn't need to be a top 10 unit. They
No.
just need to be average, maybe slightly below average. You need to go from 32 to like 25, 24, somewhere in there. Like 32 to 22. If they were the second ranked defense, they win the division last year. I mean, that's just the reality of it. With how good the offense was, they win the division. The Eagles won and played poorly. So that's just how much of a difference having even just Caleb Downs on the defense. But you signed all these guys, and it's a completely different defense. I think the only returning players are Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Overshone, Ezeraku, and Deron Bland, I think.
Maybe Malik Hooker.
Maybe Malik Hooker. I think he might not even start though.
Yeah,
But
I doubt it.
like you got rid of so many of the problems. You got rid of the Kaiir Elams. Oh man, one of the worst cornerbacks I've ever seen. You got rid of
The Kenneth
Kenneth
Murray. Yeah.
Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn, all these guys, and you replaced them with better players at the positions, I think. So that's really great to see. What do you think is the ceiling for this team? Just looking at the roster.
just going record wise, I'm leaning, the 12-5.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough schedule. You got that Texans defense. The NFC West is a big part of the schedule. There's going to be some tough games, some really good offenses, some really good defenses. So yeah, there's definitely going to be that 4 to 5 loss range. That's where I'm going to put the ceiling right now. But in terms of just like maybe diving a little deeper into the team, I definitely see a 3,500 pass season for Dak. Like, he's in that window. If not, he might hit that 4,000 pass yard season. I expect George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb to have a full season under their belt. Really, that chemistry's built.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you touched on it earlier. The one question mark on offense is kind of that offensive line, which, does Tyler Booker stay at the left guard position that he's really used to? There's Tyler Guyton as well. Does he really fit in at left tackle? So, as long as sacks are limited to this Dallas Cowboys offense, I'm seeing top 3 in the league again. So that's where I'm
Yep.
kind of putting that ceiling. I'm seeing it 12-5, one of the best offenses in the NFL. And then you realize that defense could be maybe top 15, top 20, and now you're looking at a playoff contender.
Yeah. I truly, truly think if this team can stay healthy, if the defense can just play at an average level, if Dak stays healthy for the entire season, we don't see a Dak Prescott injury. We see him like he played last year and 2023. I genuinely think this team can make it to the NFC Championship and finally break that drought. I'm not going to say Super Bowl immediately because I don't want to sound that delusional. But but they can make it to the NFC Championship game. If this offense plays at the same level that they played last year, or even takes another step, which they very well could do, having a year under their belts together, because there's no changes on offense. So that chemistry is going to stay there, like you were saying. If the defense can just, Caleb Downs makes an impact, Jalen Thompson makes an impact, Rashawn Gary makes an impact, Overshown has a big bounce back year and stays healthy. This defense could be average, and then you're one of the best teams in the NFL. That's all you need. And I do think that's something that could happen. I think that's their ceiling. Maybe even Super Bowl could be their ceiling, but I'm going to say NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that seems about right. Like, you look at the NFC East, no one really, it's kind of anyone's game. It seems like, the Giants could poke their head out there. I have no read on the Commanders. They could be
Commanders
anything.
aren't going to be anything.
That's what you think, but they do have Jaden Daniels. I don't know. I don't want to put them too far away.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles, they're always going to play competitively, but they don't look as sharp as they used to.
No AJ Brown anymore.
Exactly. So the division's wide open. I'd go even further to say the NFC is kind of like, who's your studs? You got the Bears. I think they're the favorite out of the NFC North. Seahawks and Rams are obviously going to be tough out west. But like, if you're ever playing an NFC South team, that should be a given. I mean, so even this whole conference should be a gateway for Dallas.
I really think there's only 3 teams you have to worry about in the NFC: Bears, Rams, and Seahawks. I think those are going to be the top 3 teams you have to worry about. It's going to be them 3 and the Cowboys, I think, are going to be the top dominating teams in the NFC this upcoming season. The Eagles are going to take a step back. I mean, they lost Christian Parker. They lost A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts. I'm never going to be a believer of Jalen Hurts. Seriously. And you just took one of his weapons away. The NFC South, who cares about that division? Seriously. The Vikings, I don't believe in Kyler Murray. He might have a great season with Justin Jefferson. But I feel like the Lions window's closing. The Packers they'll be a playoff team maybe, but I don't know if they're going to be competitive. But you said the same thing in 2023 when they came into Dallas and blew you out. But I don't know. I think that those are going to be the top dogs in the NFC this year.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you look at the Vikings. Yeah, there's some NFC North teams that could, compete with the Bears, but I think they just have all the pieces to kind of take care of that division. NFC South, I'm trying to think of what's going on there. Like, could Tyler Shuck really transform the Saints? I don't know. Panthers, they could, if Bryce Young finally pulls it together. What are some other teams that could really be a problem for Dallas? I'd have to go back and open up the schedule. I know we play...
Maybe the Giants?
Yeah. Like,
I don't know what they're going to look like.
Because they're keeping Daniel Jones. Oh gosh,
Dart.
correct me. That's right.
Daniel Jones is on the Colts.
That's right. We knew it was going to happen. We knew my roster knowledge would fail.
Usually does. Have you had any moments like that on the fan.
Man, they tell us to kind of, wait to be called on,
Yeah,
basically. So I'm not in the deep sports talk, but it's definitely like I did have a blunder or two, but they're very limited now that I'm not like talking that much.
yeah. Now that you
Maybe
don't get to
it's
freely
for the
talk.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I swear
That's funny.
it's because I try to just like shoot from the hip in all my
Yeah.
brain. Like, plus my computer probably can't handle too many tabs up. I'm sure that would help me a lot having rosters pulled up here. But yeah, I just remembered who was the last New York Giants quarterback I thought of. It's Daniel Jones, and I'm sure that was fun to see.
Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, Daniel Jones. Yeah, man, you forgot about the concussion kids. And that's what I'm gonna start calling them.
Yep.
Jackson Dart and Cam Scatabo. Both of them they're racing to get CTE. Scat probably already has it. Um, some of the stuff that he's done, they
he
might
just
both have it.
he just trucks into people. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. He's
they,
hit sticking them.
yeah, they're both of their careers. If they don't change how they play, might be very short.
Yeah.
But they could be a good duo for the future. So things are looking up for the Giants, which they haven't looked up for a long time. Since probably like 2018, I think, something like that. But yeah, I mean, this team, it's gonna be exciting to see. I'm excited for the season to start. Um, I really, really do have high hopes, which is not something I've had for the last couple years. Um, I have not gone into season like the last 2 years. I've gone in with very little expectations. Last year, I said that the Cowboys would win at most 7 games, and they got to that. But this year, I'm expecting 12
Yeah.
or 11 or 12, just with the roster, the schedule. I'm expecting them to come out and play good.
Yeah, I think
We
if
have
it's under 10 wins, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Given the NFC East, tough schedule, I get it, but yeah, 10 wins, at least a winning season,
Mm-hmm.
For having Brian Schottenheimer, for having Christian Parker, like the team is a winning team. I don't know if it's NFC Championship, but like definitely a playoff team, maybe divisional round, at least
Mm-hmm.
setting the table for the Cowboys to be competitive in the playoffs.
Yeah. And you had 3 straight winning seasons under Mike McCarthy, 12-5, 3 playoff seasons. Didn't do anything in those playoffs, but these back-to-back losing seasons, it's time for the Cowboys to get back in the playoffs, I think. We can't go 3 seasons in a row missing the playoffs. That's going to be – I mean, this is going to be an utter failure. This George Pickens experiment, utter failure. All that stuff. You're wasting some of Dak's best football. He's been playing so good. I really do hope that he's an MVP candidate this season. He plays like an MVP. I mean, he really, really does deserve of like all the people in the NFL. I really want Dak Prescott to get the Super Bowl. I'd hope it'd be with us, but if not, I'd hope he left and went to a team that's just a quarterback away, and then he
Yep.
wins the Super Bowl there. But like Dak, such a great guy, great story. I just really hope he gets a ring, preferably with the Cowboys, but
Yep.
doesn't have to be. Yeah, gonna be exciting stuff. Hoping the Cowboys do good. Yeah.
Well, we do have to touch on some 4th of July stuff. It's coming up tomorrow at the time of we're recording this, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with this. What will your spread be looking like, or start off with what you're doing? What will the food spread be looking like?
Well, I'm having my last day at Tiff's Treats. Tomorrow,
Whoa, that's
3 to
right.
7:30. So I think I'm gonna go home after that. I don't know if we're even gonna be doing anything.
Mhm.
We haven't gone to see fireworks in the last couple of years just because of other circumstances. But I might just be chilling with the family. I don't know if we'll have spread or anything. We might get dinner.
So yeah, mine's pretty different. We're gonna start the day on the Brazos River tomorrow. Gonna meet the friends,
Heck
float
yeah.
down the river, enjoy the sunlight. Should be a nice, 97-degree day. So definitely got to be in the water a good bit, but we'll cool off, have some fun there. Then we come back, hit my buddy's house. I'm bringing the chili. He's grilling the dogs. So we're gonna have a chili dog type of evening. Sides are to be determined. I know we have some people who make some good desserts. If we need to, we'll bring out the sour cream and onion and the ruffles. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
you know
yeah,
about it.
that's a good one.
And
That's
so
a
yeah,
good one.
just a snacky type of vibe. Nothing serious, no brisket or nothing like that. But just a good time celebrating the country. Go Team USA, by the way, into the round of 16. So just a
Heck
good time to
yeah.
be American.
Yeah, I wish I was more into soccer. I just can't. Like, I watch it and I just
I,
can't
I
get into
feel
it. I'm not feeling very
I feel
patriotic right
guilty for
now.
how bandwagony I am. Like I'm all Team USA right now. I got the red tank top on. It's like, but if you asked me a month ago what Team USA was doing, I'd be like, I think the World Cup's starting here soon. Like I'm such a casual fan, but
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
yeah.
it's not my forte.
You're more real than
Yeah,
me. Uh,
yeah. Balogun out with the red card.
yeah,
So that's kind of the big news around the team.
yeah. No, yeah. I'm. I hope you have a good time. I'm gonna just be
There
making
you
money,
go.
uh, saying goodbye to old
Yep.
friends. um, maybe see some fireworks by the crazy
There you go.
neighbors in the neighborhood that are lighting them illegally. Um, so we'll see. We will see what happens there. But yeah, this has been another edition of the Field House. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to get Jay back soon. But if not, Jett and I'll keep
Oh
on
yeah.
killing it. Um, whenever you're listening to this, hope you have a great rest of your day or have a good night if you're one of those late night listeners. And we'll see you next time.